that one? Yeah. You just start saying it louder, thinking if I say it louder, they're going to hear me. It doesn't matter that you're saying it louder. They still can't understand you, right? But we've all tried it. I mean, I'll admit I have tried it. And you admit it, you tried it too. No, I'll do the same thing. I'm thinking, surely I'm going to say, if I say this loud enough and with enough conviction, they're going to understand what I'm saying, but they don't. That's kind of like training sometimes if you don't understand a person's purpose or their calling. Real estate is not my calling. Real estate is not my purpose. It's the vehicle. Okay. My calling, my ultimate calling is to help people get sober. My ultimate calling is to help people get out of addiction. Okay. That's my ultimate calling. And that's not why but real estate's the vehicle. Y'all with me? I did life insurance and annuities for 20 years. I sold that company. I never woke up in the morning, Shelly, saying, I can't wait to do some life insurance today. Man, life insurance is fun. I want to sit down and talk to someone about dying. This is going to be a great day. I got such a passion for insurance. Woo, do I? No, didn't happen, right? But it was the vehicle to get me where I wanted to go. Real estate's the same way. When I joined real estate 2 years ago, I said, I'm going to be successful here. And people would say, why? I said, because I got a calling. I got a deep, I did, and Daniel remembers this. He might have been the only person in the room that day. But in this room, I told everybody, I said, I will stand on a stage here at EXP, and I will tell everybody how many days I've been sober. That's my calling. And then this year, Daniel had me speaking at 2 events at EXP, which is pretty cool. To think that I'm speaking to a bunch of seasoned real estate agents that are much better than me in real estate, but Daniel still got me a gig. You with me? I know you had some help to do that too. I'm sorry. Thank you for speaking highly of me. Got me a gig to speak. And what was the first thing I said when I got on stage? I am how many days sober? I said it exactly like I told everybody in January of this year. This will happen. Okay. Now I had to have some success here in real estate to get that gig, right? To be asked to speak on the stage, I had to have some success. Like I had to do something here. You with me? See, my calling is deeper. So and I'm not saying you're always going to know your calling and your purpose, but you can work into your calling and your purpose. Okay. My pastor would always ask me back in 2013, I had only been sober for a short while, what's your why? And I wanted to punch him. Every time he asked me what my why was, I was like, shut up. I don't know. I want to breathe. I want to fix all the things I've screwed up. You with me? I want to fix all the stuff I've messed up. I don't know what my why is, And he said, it's okay. Keep moving in the direction of success, and your calling, your why will come to you. And sure enough, it did. Sure enough, I was like, I got it. I know exactly what I meant to do. And then I met this beautiful man, Daniel Ng. And the moment I met him, see, you don't need a lot of details when you trust the person you're talking to. Did y'all know that? You don't need a lot of details when you trust the person you're sitting in front of. I ultimately trusted him the moment I met him, Teresa. I sat in his office. He was sitting there. He told me what his goal and his calling was. Wasn't about real estate. He goes, Paul, I'm going to help 3 generations of people. What's the first thing he said to me? I'm in. In fact, the rest of the conversation, if you want to speak to me in Chinese, go for it.
Don't do it.
I'm in. But
it means add oil. They say add oil. That's what 加油 means.
I lost control of the room. My point was this. He could have spoken any language to me at that point. I was joining his team. I trusted him. I didn't need details. I don't need them. I know what you want to do with your life. I know what you want to do as a father. I know what you want to do for your church. I know who the man you are. I'm in, right? And I don't know. I think he showed me the world. He may have, I don't know. He showed me the numbers and the charts of how much you can make with revenue share. I was lost. I can't stand numbers. I hate numbers. I'm a psychology guy from the beginning. Numbers. I know what it feels like when it hits my bank account. That's where the psychology comes in. I know what it feels like when it hits my bank account. Don't care how it gets there, right? And my point is this. I just wanted to join him. And I texted my pastor in capital letters. He did not know I was doing this, under the table. And I said, I found it in capital letters. And my pastor goes, what are we looking for? I didn't know we lost something. I said, I found it. I can't wait for you to meet this beautiful man. And I did get to introduce my pastor to Daniel. And that was a cool day. And I've been following him ever since. And he's going to share with y'all the plan and how it works and all that stuff. But here's what I can just tell you. Sometimes you just need to make a decision to follow someone. Just follow them. And I followed someone back in 2005. It made me a multi-millionaire. Okay. I knew what the man wanted to do. I knew where he wanted to go with his family. I said, I'm following you. Right. I had that same feeling when I met Daniel. That's the ultimate thing you need to know about Daniel. He put you first. He'll put you before himself. Am I right, Kevin? He drove us around Boston. Yeah. He was our Uber driver, the most expensive Uber driver. The dude makes too much money to be Ubering me, right? He's worth a lot an hour, and he's Ubering me and Kevin around, kind of like we were his kids. I'm too old for him to be my father, but you see what I'm saying? Because he serves and he loves to serve, and that's who he is. So please help me welcome my man Daniel Eam.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So every Wednesday, 10 o'clock, we explain the model, and not just about EXP, but just also about what our group is about. So Paul, thank you for sharing that and kind of like inspiring the team to continue to grow. We created a network called We Partners Network. Everyone's part of this community. I think as a brokerage owner in the past and being a franchise owner, people felt like, well, I'm the broker and everyone's the agents. Here, we're all business partners. So we've taken a different approach. EXP, yes, is the brokerage platform, but what we created here is more of the community aspect. So we are all business partners here. We do have a mission and vision of the group is to create, opportunities to create wealth, community, and legacy. And I'll show you what legacy means because that's really important. The vision is to be 10,000 partners globally. With a platform, you can do that. When I was independent, I couldn't do that. When I had a franchise, I was part of a global company, but I was still buying a box that I was buying a territory. With this platform, it allows us to grow all 50 states day one and 29 countries right now. So cash flow quadrant, as a real estate agent, when you got your license, you became self-employed. What Paul would say, you created a job, yay. But the problem with creating a job is you're transactional. You have to build something where you're building a business. So day one, agents can build a business here. And I'll show you what that would look like. Not just as a broker, right? Day one, you could actually kind of be like a broker, build your organization, kind of rip off and duplicate what we're doing and continue to grow. So it's very different from any other model. Of course, we all want to be in the I category where our money is growing itself, right? That's the investor side. But from a regular agent, because as an agent, you're renting your license at a broker, versus here, we actually own part of the company. Every agent in this company is actually a small shareholder. We do a lot of events. So as a community, we were making sandwiches a couple weeks ago. This was a leadership quarterly mastermind that the leaders of EXP, we all came together. We flew to Scottsdale, kind of shared what things we need to improve with the company and things like that. So we come together every quarter. We do a lot of barbecue events. So if you haven't been to our barbecue, I would love for you guys to come. If you like to cook or bring something, we do a lot of potlucks because everyone should bring to the table. So we do this at least once a month. We try, and we just come together and just cook and just come together as a group. So we've done crawfish events. So just a lot of food. So meaning that it's very easy. It's very easy to invite people to a barbecue potluck type event, right? So meaning if people want to see the community, right? Versus like, hey, come to, join us. That's not what we're here. We're showing them the community aspect first. So you're going to see a lot of these pictures that we've done. We had over 40 people that went to actually the Tom Ferry Success Summit. Everyone bought their own ticket, invested themselves, right? These are things that people are coming together to do. EXP as a corporate, they do once a month events at Metrotex. So they do a training every month. The next training is end of the month, I think on the 29th or the 30th is the 29th. Is also a Wednesday. So check that out if you want to go to that. Paul, Kevin, and I, we all went to Boston, and we're supporting a conference up there. So I'm going to skip through all these slides, but this was Barcelona in the summer. So this is when we went to EXPCon Barcelona. This was in June. Cabo was in March. So a lot of events this year, as you can see. So very active group. So now going to the EXP movement. EXP is a disruptive platform for brokers, for entrepreneurs, for agents. Glenn Sanford is the one who founded the company in 2009. We're not a startup. Started in 2009. We became the largest independent brokerage in the world, about 90,000 agents. So what did he? So he had to do something to make a solution. What was the problem? The problem was agents were just renting their license. Agents had no ownership. So he was able to create a model where agents had ownership of the company. He was able to create something where agents were having revenue of the company as well. You looked at Keller Williams' model; they had profit share, but Keller Williams is still a franchise. You still have a broker owner that bought a franchise or partners, and then the agents were still agents. They didn't have ownership of that office. So the solution was really creating cutting costs. So imagine there's 1,000 real estate offices, doesn't matter what brand, say in Texas, and they're paying $6,000 rent per month. That's and times 12, that's $72 million just in office rent. So agents are indirectly paying for this. So the solution was, let's create a little video game and let's operate into the EXP world. So that's what he created. I'm going to kind of share a glimpse of what this would look like.
Welcome to the EXP World Market Area, your one-stop gateway to every department of EXP World. Need directions? Meet Casey, our friendly.
So we have a new AI person. So if you or your team needed to talk to somebody in the Texas broker room, they would hop in here and they would say hi to the.
Okay, there we go. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Is it Lacey?
Hi, yes, how are you?
Good. I'm here with a group just exploring the world. What help can agents get in the Texas broker room?
Yeah, you can come in here to speak with any of our brokers. If you have any questions about your transactions or any legal questions, anything like that that a broker can help with. And then through here, you can also get to our technical support or expert care desk as well.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day.
You're welcome. Y'all too.
So immediately your agent or yourself can come in here and you would have brokers waiting for you. So these are employee brokers. So Tara's right there. I think I saw Rick Snow. Oh, Vince. Vince is another managing broker. And we have brokers are waiting for you right away. Stephanie's a new broker that's coming in. And then we got Josh Davis back here. And then we, of course, we have our designated managing broker. Sometimes she's here, sometimes she's out. She might be over here. Oh, she's right there. What the heck are they doing?
Whoa.
Oh, where'd they go? What? They took me out. I couldn't go in there. Anyways, they created their own thing. So what I want to share is the brokers. Oh, let's see if I have the picture of the brokers. So these brokers are actually working for you. So they're W-2 employees of the company, meaning that there's 15 of them, right? And they're servicing your team, servicing yourself, servicing your team, not just in Texas. We have a room for each state. So you have 2,500 employees working for the company, supporting your growth. That's why I call it a platform, because once you join this platform, you're able to grow, okay? Because you have the support staff for that, okay? So now we go to training. Where is training held? Instead of Zoom calls, right? During COVID, everyone pivoted to Zoom calls. So if there was a live training going on, you would hop into this EXP kind of auditorium. So you can have one person in here, 10 people, 1,000. That's how we moved and pivoted over, and that's why we can cut the cost of real estate. Okay, so that's a little glimpse of EXP World. I wanted to kind of share that because I think it's important to understand what is the solution that EXP created by supporting us through this virtual world, right? Cutting the real estate cost. So what I'm gonna kind of share is, we started in 2009. We created a program where agents had equity. We're publicly traded on NASDAQ. And we started growing global in 2019. And then 2020 is when I came in for the EXP commercial side. So I do commercial real estate. That's my focus. And when I realized that I could build a residential group and commercial group and mix them all together and, was able to grow a community, that's when we kind of launched in 2021 coming in. So currently we're over about 90,000 agents strong. So kind of our numbers. We're not just recruiting agents. We actually do a lot of transactions compared to anywhere, which is Century 21, Coldwell Banker. You have Compass as well. These are all publicly traded companies. You can see who are the top producers in the group. So now, because we're cloud-based, you can work from anywhere. We do have basically a toolkit of things. So $85 a month for EXP Realty. You get the EXP World. You get Sisu, which is a kind of like you're tracking your business, and everyone gets Canva Pro. So another marketing tool that every agent gets with your $85. We use Slack to communicate with all the 90,000 people. If you want to directly talk to a broker, you can use that app. All our documents go through SkySlope. So some brokers use .loop, some people use Backagent. We use software called SkySlope. And then, of course, we're the first company to offer CRM of choice. So we got 3 CRMs that agents get to use, they can choose from. So we got Bold Trail, we have Lofty, and then we have Closed. So these are the 3 choices that agents can use on the residential side. Of course, we have everything on the back end. And then Instacard is kind of like a digital business card that every agent also has. So all our 80 hours of live training per week is in EXP University. Our Fast Attract, and then we have Fast Cap. So Fast Cap is a great program for newer agents or people who have been in business 2 years. They need to build their foundation. So Fast Cap is free. It's a 6 weeks program. It's on Zoom. Of course, if you're a brand new agent, we have a mentor program. And of course, we have the Elevate coaching program as well. So a lot of stuff for $85 a month that you get. One more thing I want to kind of share is Regus offices. Because EXP doesn't have physical office, our $85 includes Regus access. So Regus is a global co-working space that has over 3,000 offices globally. In Dallas, I believe there's over 26 offices. So if you can hop into the room, use that, meet your clients instead of Starbucks, you're welcome to do that. I use it for restrooms when I'm traveling. I was in Italy. I was at the Duomo, and my wife says we need to find clean restrooms because the McDonald's, Starbucks is just packed and there's a line. So I was like, hey, there's a Regus office. So I pulled up my app. I said, hey, I need to have a 15-minute meeting, and my family's with me. They said, okay. So we had clean restrooms, water, Wi-Fi. Got to rest a little bit. Had the AC, so it was good. And they had a rooftop. So the rooftop view was great. So that's the highlight of having the Regus access. If you wanted that same Regus access today, it's over $200 a month. We get that with our $85. So the value there. So now going to numbers, we are on an 80-20 split, $16,000 cap. Everyone's on this. After you hit your cap, you're 100%. But there's a couple ways to make the 16,000 back. As a broker owner, if you're producing, you hit your certain cap, you do a certain amount of production, you get 16,000 back in company stock. If you are growing your organization, I'll show you how the company shares revenue back to get that as well. Startup is $149, $85 a month, and then there's a transaction review fee and a $60 E&O insurance, which caps at $750. So how do agents become shareholders of the company? When they do their first transaction every year, you get $200 worth of stocks. When you hit your cap, you get $400 worth of stocks. When you introduce somebody to the company directly, you get $400 worth of stocks as well. This middle one is an optional program. You can take 5% of your commission and buy the stock at a 5% discount. No vesting period. So agents don't have a 401k. This is like a retirement plan where agents are parking money on the side. Optional. You don't have to be in this program. The Icon Award is for top producers. So in the past, when I had my own company and my franchise, I couldn't give my top producers equity, right? They paid me at that time. I think our cap was at 12,000. I could never give them back 12,000 in equity, but this company is able to, and we're sustainable by doing it. These are the 3 CRMF choices. So now understanding numbers, like Paul, no, not like Paul. I'm a numbers guy. So we have to look at where does this 20% go? If the 20% goes to EXP, what does the company do with it? Half goes to the company for operations. The other half goes into what we call revenue share. The company shares 50% of their revenue back to agents, 7 levels. Okay, similar to like a Keller Williams, where Keller Williams takes their profits and then they divvy that out for profits. But profit is after expenses. So if that office or that market center does not have profits, there's nothing to share. Our company shares from the top revenue. So this is the payouts. If you introduce somebody directly, that's your tier 1. You get 17.5% of half of the revenue coming in, and so on. Same thing here. So now going over numbers, remember if your agent was doing 16,000, half of that, 50% is 8,000. So we're going to look at this 8,000 right here. So if you introduce Sally came in. I'll look this way. Sorry. Sally came in and she's in New York. You're licensed in Texas. How can you attract somebody in New York? Because the company is all licensed all 50 states. You're able to attract day one coming in. So if Sally likes the program, she likes working with our community, she joins, she's your tier 1. And we know that she's a capping agent because in the past she does $150,000 a year. We know she's a capping agent, meaning that she's paid in $16,000. So half of that's $8,000. 17.5% is $1,400. So now tier 2 is Sally introduces Tom. Tom's in Florida. That's your tier 2, 20%. 20% equals $1,600. Lisa is your tier 3. She's in Texas, could be in Dubai, could be in Mexico, could be in Puerto Rico, could be in Germany, could be in France. Wherever EXP is at, you're able to attract. So when I share this is like the goal for every agent is one is to recapture their cost, right? If your cost is 16,000, just by introducing 12 agents in your organization, in your community, and they're all capping, that's 16,800 in cash, not stocks. So this covered your cost, okay? But if these 12 are really serious, like a lot of our leaders here, they're growing their mini team. So I kind of put a math of 12 times 10, that's 120 people now. This is pretty serious. Now you have actually a bigger community. That's $192,000 if everyone was selling 4 to 6 homes, more or less, depending on your marketplace. And if everyone just brought in one friend, if they brought in everyone to the barbecue, that's another 120,000. You have a potential RevShare of 328,800. You can cut this money in half and just say if everyone was just selling 3 homes, that's what you would get. That's what the company is able to do. So, I'm gonna glimpse over this really quick. We have this new program called co-sponsorship. So Mo is in Dallas, say his friend is in New York, and Ibrahim is in New York. So typically these two would come together, and it's hard to support that other agent in that other market. But now I can find a local leader in that market to support this other gentleman. So that's what co-sponsorship does. We're allowed to add other people to support our team members. So, okay. But that's really the value prop of co-sponsorship is extra added value support for that. So if anyone has any questions, we can go over. I think the main thing for brokers is, what are the goals? When you're talking to somebody about the model, you got to figure out what the goals are, right? Sometimes, me being a broker, it's easier for me to talk to somebody. And the main thing is getting like you guys are here to get today. The main thing is I want to get to know you, kind of see how I can be a solution. Because that's all we're trying to do. We're trying to find solutions for entrepreneurs, trying to let people understand what this model can actually do for them and creating a legacy. So going back to the legacy, if something happens to me today, my position is willable to my family. They will still continue to have the revenue because the communities continue to grow. The back end is all handled by EXP, right? If I had my own independent brokerage, something happened to me today, my wife is not going to run this company. My children even won't run this company. But that's why legacy is very important. It doesn't mean that if you have your own team, if you have a broker that comes in, doesn't mean that they're part of our group. Doesn't mean that they have to use our logos or anything. They're independent. It's just they're leveraging a platform to continue to grow what their vision was, right? And everyone's mission and vision is different.
Without all the overhead.
Without all the overhead. So that's what Glenn was doing. He wanted to find a solution for brokers to have. One is ownership. Everyone can have ownership. So everyone's a shareholder. Second is also able to grow all 50 states without having the restrictions of licensing. Yes, I could go get 50 licenses, all 50 states. But imagine if I had to get MLSs in all the areas, just in Texas. As a broker owner, you're in Metrotex. And if you had an agent that wants to grow in Houston, you would have to get your MLS in Houston or Austin or San Antonio. EXP's ready, has all those licenses, all those memberships, I guess, those dues. So, yeah, yes, sir.
Netris has now got Austin, San Antonio, and Houston.
But you can't list.
Well, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah. So if you had an agent that joined you and they're in Austin, you would have to join ABOR as a secondary membership, and then your agents can join ABOR to get the listing and do their super and all that. Yes, we can see everything now, which is great. But the main thing is your agent in that market to list and all that. Yeah. So things like that. And then because there's different goals. I think when people understand like, oh, there's a business opportunity for growth, it is. I mean, that's why a lot of franchise owners, when they look at options, do they want to renew their box or they want to open up where like, hey, I'm not needing to buy anything. Like you're not buying a franchise here. We're not a franchise. We're just a platform, but it allows us to open day one, all 50 states opportunity. So, yeah. So so he's a tech guy and he found a solution. He's a billionaire because he created a platform for all of us to grow. It's not some people, how you say it, they look at the recruiting aspect and sometimes it's turned off, but it's not recruiting. If you're just helping agents to Teresa and Shelly, they had a brokerage before too. Same thing. It's like, hey, I just want to help you guys grow your group and also break free of having to do the day-to-day stuff of operation as a broker, in which they both were traveling in China, and then your team had access to all the trainings and had all the access to everything, and yep. So, Paul, you want to end it up with anything?
Daniel, yeah.
And then we can have more Q&A. I know that they have a training at 11, but if you want to go upstairs, we can go upstairs to go over more training or more items just for more detail. So, yep. Thank you.
Are we live?
Yes, I fixed it.
All right, there we go. So what I want to do, like Teresa, you and I want to recommit, if you will, like if you hear when we're hearing Daniel talking about what we can do here, what we can accomplish, what we can build, is to remind ourselves of, hey, we have gold in our hands. Like I don't understand a lot of what Daniel said. I didn't understand in 2005 when I joined my last business, everything that was said, but I saw success all around me. I saw people succeeding. I saw people making a lot of money. And when I looked at those people making money, I said, okay, if they can do it, I can do it, right? And so when I met Daniel, it was the same thing. Daniel introduced me to a lot of people that were being successful. So I didn't need to know all the details. I said, people are being successful here. I can too. They're not any better than me. God didn't make junk when he made me. He made me to do something great. He's got a big calling, a big purpose on my life. I got to go out there and chase it, right? And so therefore, when I see this, like Teresa, you and I got to recommit and say, hey, we have something in our hands that is absolute golden, Shelly, and we got to take advantage of what we've been given. Because there's people out there that are being crazy. Like I remember in my old business, we had a deal. You couldn't, D2, You couldn't get up and show the opportunity you had to be in a suit and a tie if you made less than $300,000. That was just where your self-image was. If you made less than $300,000, you didn't have the opportunity to get up and do it in a shirt and tie. You had to be in a shirt and tie. So I was like, I'm going to make $300,000 because I hate shirts and ties. I hate suits, as y'all can tell. So I was like, that's not going to happen. I'm going to make my $300,000 like really, really quick. And then I come here and Daniel says, hey, come to Cabo with me. So I go to Cabo with him and there I am in Cabo and some dude gets up on the stage, no shoes, shorts, and a shirt much like this, and he shows the opportunity. I looked at Daniel, I said, how much money you got to make to do that? Because that's what I want to do. He goes, he makes about $500,000 a month. I'm in. If he can do it, say it. I can do it. But don't say so. Don't say you can. If I can do it, if he can do it, I can do it, right? And that's just the belief I've always had. If you have that belief, you take a lot of the mystery of success away. People get so confused with it. Like, I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to make sure I have the perfect open house. I got to make sure I have the perfect business card. I got to make sure I know exactly how to do a 1031 exchange. I got to make sure I know how to do this. I got to know the script. What do I say to expired listings? What do I say to this? What do I say to that? See, you cut all that stuff out when you just decide, guess what? I'm going to be successful, right? And if I can get more people rally behind that, we can go much faster, right? Because I believe we were meant to do something absolutely amazing. I don't think it's a mistake that we're all here together right now. Carrie, I don't think it's a mistake that you and I are working together in my coaching program because she's not in my organization. I don't make money when Carrie does transactions, but I don't care. I could care less. I want her to learn my coaching program because my coaching program, again, is more about the internal, not the external. It's not about the phone scripts. I want you to know the phone scripts. I want you to know your numbers. I want you to be dedicated to doing your numbers and knowing exactly how many people you need to talk to a week to make a certain amount of money. I need you to know that. That's not the most important part. What's inside of you, what you're calling, what's your purpose, why are you doing this? Because if you don't know that, it's like you're screaming at someone that speaks Spanish in English thinking they're going to understand you. And we've all tried it. Well, at least her and I are the only ones that will admit that we've tried it. If you're not admitting it, you need to go to church on Sunday because you're lying to me, because we've all tried it. We've all given it a shot. Like, maybe if I just do it just a little louder, maybe if I train this person a little bit more on expired listings, maybe if I train them a little bit more on this, maybe if I train them a little bit more on that. But then you don't even know their kids' names. You don't even know who they are. You don't even know if they're married, if they're single. You don't know anything about them, right? What's their calling? What do they want to do this for? First time I met Kevin, I knew exactly why he's doing this. And I can tell you, I'm not going to tell you because that's his deal, but I know why he's doing it. And it touched my heart when he told me. Touched my heart. Now, guess what? I want to work hard for him. I want to succeed for him. See how you want to succeed for someone else. Like, if I can be successful, maybe he can look at me and say, hey, this dodo brain can do it. Because I barely graduated high school. I can't spell. I can't add. Y'all's probably seen some of my math skills. It's not that good. Kevin's going, oh, dear Lord. If he can do it, I can do it. Y'all with me? So please get around Daniel as much as you can. He's a huge success. He's a very humble man. He doesn't share with you some of the, he knew I barely graduated high school when I first told him. He never once told me I graduated in one of the most prestigious schools, business schools in the world in Switzerland. Like, he didn't tell me that. Like, I'd be like, dude, that'd be the first thing I'd tell people, I think. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, yo, I went to school in Switzerland. You know, I think that's what I'm going to tell people. He didn't even tell me. I learned from somebody else and somebody else and somebody else that he went there. Why is that? Because he relates to everybody. He connects with everybody. It's a beautiful man. Bring people here. Get people around him. He's got the broker side, so he understands how you can speak to brokers about, because he made the decision that had to be a scary decision, Carrie. To you and I, you're like, oh, it's no big deal. But no, he walked away from his business that he put all that money into and said, I'm going to do this EXP thing. Y'all with me? So he's a wealth of knowledge. So thank y'all for being here. We have, who's doing training today? Who's in charge of training? Irma? Who's in charge of training? It's just a question.
Me.
You, okay. So you're in charge of training, right?
Well,
Here, let me mic you.
I have some people here that are going to.
You have some people here? What are you, Jesus?
I have some people here.
I
Kidding.
have some, don't give me a hard time, Paul.
You're doing great. You're doing amazing. This is yours.
I have experts here, 1031 expert, Miss
like
Melissa Maloney, along with Dan, and he's going to be via Zoom. And then we have an expert on mineral rights, Bob Baker.
Yeah.
So.
You're doing great.
That's
Thank
at
you.
11.
And that's at 11. So tell
And
everyone